They built a coffin with your name that you dug yourself out. They planned your funeral while smiling in your face. They lowered you into the dirt. They hated you. You felt it in your heart, cold, heavy. They thought it was over for you. They thought you would stay buried, but you didn't. You said amen. You came back stronger through the lies, the scars. They never wanted you to rise. Not because you were weak, because they knew if you ever stood up again, you never go down. You didn't suppose to survive the betrayal. You're supposed to break, shatter, fade into the background like all the quiet people. But silence is louder when it comes from someone that used to scream. Now, your silence terrifies them. You see, they didn't just try to kill your name. They tried to erase your existence, delete you from memory, like you were just a glitch in their narrative. Nothing. They forgot. Monsters don't need permission to return. They come back when it's darkest, when the fear tastes right. And now it's black. You're not a comeback story. You're a warning, a whisper, a ghost that learned how to walk in daylight. They hear your footstep and their stomach turn. You don't walk like you used to. You flow. You breathe fire behind every calm smile, and they feel it. They can sense it. They thought burying you, all they did was give you time. Time to evolve. Time to rise and think. In the pain, in the darkness, you didn't crawl out the same way you went in. You came out hungry, cold. Now they crumble. They're not celebrating your return. They're investigating it. You're not the one who's lost. You're the aftermath, the fallout. When they underestimated the wrong soul. And now when you're standing again, scarred, smiling in silence, they don't know if they're gonna run or beg. They're watching you now. Fingers twitching, scrolling through your timeline like it holds the secret of the universe. They thought they had you labeled, another broken toy tossed aside. But now you are a file that won't close, a glitch in the system. Every time they think they figure you out, you shift, you evolve, and it drives them mad. They talk in circles about you, late night whispers, nervous laughter. What happened to them? They don't ask because they care. They ask because they're terrified. Because you didn't just disappear, you transformed quietly, brutally, into something no one warned them about. You used to explain yourself. Now, you let them panic in the silence. You're not a person anymore. You're a question. A backstory they want to rewrite. Every page bleeds ink. Every sentence bites back. You don't fit in to their little box. You grew. You became smoke. They dig through your past, hoping to find something to break you again. But all they uncover is chaos. Beautiful, organized chaos. You change your identity, What they remember is gone, dead. You are the mystery that marks them every time. You don't chase clarity. You manufacture confusion. Every move you make is a smokescreen. Every word a trap. They try to read you. The eyes is reflection of their own fear. And you smile because you know it. They started studying you. You already won. They're not investigating you for answers. They're doing it to survive. If they don't figure you out soon, you will be the nightmare they never wake up from. They call you broken, like it was an insult, like it was the end of the story. The broken doesn't mean destroyed, it means reborn. When something cracks, light gets in, fire gets in, and you didn't fall apart. You fell into yourself. You came out scarred, steel, stronger. They thought your tears were weakness. Your silence meant surrender. But silence is just the sound of the storm. Every scream you swallowed became a brick. Every betrayal, a beam. You weren't collapsing. You were constructing. You were building a cathedral out of chaos. And now, they can't even look you in the eyes. You were not the person they broke. That version died. You buried it. What rose from the ashes wasn't soft or sweet. It was a masterpiece of rage, built with nerves of iron. You didn't survive the trauma. You weaponized it. They can't hurt you now. Not because they've changed, because you have changed. Your pain is no weakness. It's your strength. It's a map into your bones. It taught you how to move through fire and to not get burned, how to bleed with purpose, how to grin with glass in your teeth. Every wound was a door. Every scar was a signal. And now when they see you, unapologetically untouched, untainted, they realize the truth. What they broke wasn't the end. It was the beginning. You didn't lose anything. You gained something they will never understand. You're not broken. You're forged. A walking contradiction. A storm in human skin. And when they try to call you damaged, you just laugh. Broken didn't destroy you. They were so sure you will come crawling, knees bruised, eyes wet, whispering apologies. They waited for the knock, for the desperate message, for you to beg for mercy, but you didn't knock. You vanished. And when you came back, no tears, no pain, just that grin, that twisted knowing grin that says, I never needed you. Your silence, that wasn't heartbreak. It was hibernation. You weren't suffering. You were scheming. You pulled your energy back like a blade, and now it's sharpened, ready, lethal. They thought your quiet was weakness, but silence is louder than begging. It echoes. It lingers. And now, your laughter, it haunts. You didn't come back to make peace. You came back elevated, upgraded, untouchable. You let them dance on your grave while you're building a new kingdom in the dark. You don't need closure. You don't need revenge. You became both. Walking closure, living revenge. They wanted you desperate, but you chose distance. They thought they were the storm, but you disappeared and returned with thunder. And now they're scrambling, replaying every memory, wondering where they lost control. But here's the truth, they never had it. You just let them think they did. You're not back for them, you're back for you. And that's what terrifies them. Because people expect rage, they expect tears. But laughter, that's a different beast. It's unpredictable, powerful. And when it comes from someone they tried to destroy, it's deadly. To laugh away the pain. Laugh loud. Laugh slow. Laugh like you already won. Because you have. You came back from the dead. Now they are the ones begging. You weren't silent, vanished. No warnings, no goodbyes. Just gone. And that's where they panicked. Not when you cried, begged, screamed, when you disappeared. Because nothing is more terrified than the absence of someone they kept breaking. They don't talk with the same tone anymore. It's not mockery, it's mystery. They myster your name. You see, they can't control. When you lead quietly, you become dangerous. You become myth, a shadow with no location, a memory that bites back. While they laugh, you were building. While they were doubted, you were evolving. Off the radar. That's the real game. Ghosts don't beg for attention. They command it with silence. Not every time their phone buzzes, they flinch. They wonder if it's you. Not the old you, the new one. The one with no change and mercy. You stopped performing, stopped explaining, stopped dancing for people. When you vanished, you didn't just leave the room, you rewrote the script. Now they don't know your next move, and that kills them. Because predictability is comfort, and you became chaos. It's power in walking away like a ghost, like a storm that doesn't need lightning to make noise. They're still searching for you in the places you burned down, still hoping for the version of you that needed them. But that version, that soul, it disappeared the moment they thought you were disposable. Now you haunt them in silence, in strength, in the fact that your absence says more than their presence ever could. You disappeared, and suddenly they are the ones lost. You walk in quiet, eyes low, shoulders relaxed, and that's exactly how they miss it. Because they searching for monsters, not the ones wearing smirks, but you are a storm dressed like a secret, a catastrophe behind a calm stare. And when you speak, it's measured. When you speak, it's measured. When you move, you were never loud. You were never the center, never the threat. That's what makes you lethal. You master the art of invisibility. You smile at their insults, not their games, all while the cows inside of you, waiting, watching, growing, teeth in the silence. And now, you're done hiding. Predictable, harmless, but they forgot something crucial. Pressure builds in silence. Volcanoes don't erupt with warning signs. They just go. And you are not preparing to explode. You are the explosion. And they never saw it coming. Your rage has rhythm, your pain poetry. You carry hurricanes